What is up? What is up? What is up? Is your boy Pat back with another one of these videos. As always, keep this raw, real, and authentic. I'm not gonna be doing any type of fancy edits and none of that in this video. And yeah, let's get into this. I know I haven't done like this type of a video in a while. Ever so often, like, you know, I have a few things that I want to get off my chest and express from just my everyday observation of what's going on in the world around me, what's going on in America, and everything like that. I'm definitely not going to be on here trying to speak with a particular type of diction, or, you know what I'm saying, because like that ain't real. That's not being authentic, you know what I'm saying, because when you speak with a certain type of format or a certain type of diction, when you at home dealing with your family or your kids or what, you're not talking like that. That ain't how you talking, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so today I got a few things I want to kind of like go over as far as what's going on with Black America in America, just like the cognitive dissonance and outlook and orientation that we have here towards each other, towards politics, towards the world around us. I also want to get into the whole thing where we're talking about, you know, just like the ideals of right now. There's this whole thing about chosen ones and whatnot, and people that, from what I can see, that are kind of like operating from a place of common sense and practicality, just like the backlash that they may have, or backlashes that they get for not choosing to follow the crowd. All right. Before and as always, before I start this, if this is your first time on this channel, go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so whenever I do drop new videos, you guys get notifications and all that good stuff. So like, yeah, man, like right now in the world, everything is in black and white right now in the world. If you want to call it good and evil, right now you can kind of see everything as plain as day. You see the people that have common sense, you see the people who don't have any common sense, you see the people that just kind of follows the crowd, does what everybody else tells them to do, and you see how colonization has interrupted specifically the common sense of the black man in America, around the world, but right now in this video specifically in America. And colonized Christianity, I was making some posts about that on my Facebook page about colonized Christianity. You know, I've been getting a lot of messages from some of my so-called Christian friends, up in arms about it, not feeling good about what I was saying, or having an issue about what I was saying. But what I'm saying is the absolute truth, man. The absolute truth. You say you believe in Christ, or you believe in a higher power, or you have faith within yourself, but everything that you do every single day, your faith is based purely on societal economics, or economics within the system that you're in. You know, a lot of people go to church every day, or every Sunday, or, you know, whenever they do go to church, and their faith is on accumulating a whole bunch of money just to purchase a bunch of things and whatnot, and put back into the hands of the white man. I don't have any issues with white people. I have an issue with white folks that have benefited off of colonization and act as if they're not benefiting from it. Now, you know, if they have generations, or they have ancestors or whatever that created a platform for them to be able to continue a level of wealth, or, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot, that's been passed down from generation to generation, and they just born into it, that's cool. But for me, you have to acknowledge the truth about what your ancestors did, and how it has disrupted just the human connection to earth and the human connection to the truth based in reality on this planet. So they're like up in arms about what I was saying as far as colonized Christianity. Now when I say colonized Christianity, I'm talking about like just like the false prophecies and, you know, the ideals of people joining these fraternities and, you know, and just a contradiction between colonized based faith and actual universal faith. Small example, there's a guy named David Cruz. I don't know if you guys know who David Cruz is. If not, you could look him up, hashtag David Cruz. He is all over the internet right now. He's just a guy that was living somewhere in New York or somewhere in Philly. Don't quote me on that, but he did this faith-based walk. I think he tried it 2 or 3 times. On the 3rd time, he actually was able to fulfill that mission. He said he was just operating his everyday life, and God spoke to him and told him that he needed to take a faith-based walk, and he decided to just be obedient. So that's what he did, right? He just got up, packed a bag with a few items, and just started walking. His last journey was from, I think, New York down here to Miami. And on his journey, God provided every day for him. God provided food for him to eat, maybe a place of shelter on some nights and whatnot. And in that, there was a young lady that saw him, and I guess she assumed that he was homeless and wanted to, you know, give him some money or something like that. And his whole thing with that was that he could not accept the money because it would take away from the purpose of his journey to begin with. And he would say if he took the money from her, then he would have to take the money from everyone, and then that would just defeat the purpose of the journey. Like, where's the actual faith in that, you know? And he's like an internet phenomenon right now, because like now it is showing that when you really have true and genuine faith, that God is going to provide for you, because he eats every day. He eats really good food every single day with just, you know, common sense things. Like, you know, he said he will go to like behind Winn-Dixie or a store or whatnot, and you know, if you don't notice, like a lot of these stores throw away good food every single day. Like, we're in America right now where we're in the middle of a food drought. You know, I'm not even gonna get into all that. You know, this whole presidency that's going on, man, like there's a lot of fuckery that's going on with that. But they throw away a lot of food. Like I've seen a video with him. He had like a bag full of fruits, bananas, grapes, oranges, and whatnot. He was just saying like he found a whole bag of oranges where maybe just 1 or 2 oranges were bad and the rest of the oranges were good.
Was in the dumpster in Winn-Dixie. You see these oranges, they came in a bag. This orange came in a bag with many other oranges. I don't know how many, but it's plural. So I took out, I think it was 2 oranges that were bad in the bag, and I kept the rest because they're good.
He says that's the majority of how he eats. So he eats well. You can go behind a pizza spot. He says there's boxes and boxes and boxes of good pizza that went unsold that they throw away in the garbage. You know, and people sometimes will go out and go buy food, or you know, and people are just like following his journey and following him on this faith walk that he has. Sometimes people kind of know like which direction they're going, and they will wait to meet him where he is. There's people that meet him, they're praying, they're crying, they find him as an inspiration, and you know, and then you have a group of Christian ministers and pastors and evangelists or whatever that are up in arms against him for being obedient to what God told him. They're going to scriptures and trying to find all this stuff to try to belittle his faith walk, because I guess whatever they got going on in their churches and stuff like that is based on this colonized, systematic, economic version of faith. And they don't like the fact that he's expressing a simple, genuine form of faith that supersedes all that BS that they carrying on with. And all that ties into a lot of the cognitive dissonance that's going on in America, within Black America right now. A lot of what I speak, I can speak from experience. I don't know if I may have mentioned this in past videos or whatnot. That's like, you know, I was heavy in the church at one point and whatnot. I mean, I've always been conscious, always known my history. My father taught me a lot about history. I've traveled in a few places. I've always been a person that was into books, encyclopedias, just kind of like walking in unison with universe and life itself, just kind of lining me up with particular experiences that would disclose or expose certain things that was going on in history. I would be able to connect the dots with certain things. You feel what I'm saying? Now, with all that being said, there are a lot of Black folks that aren't really seeing the truth with how they deal with other people, right? Or just what they hold as value, right? For example, we got some folks that will make assumptions that aren't connected to any real context. A lot of the assumptions that they make is based purely on what they see and based on the things that they value in their life. Small example, I could use myself for example, right? Those of you that follow me, and for some of you that are just new to this channel, I'm 42 years old now. I just turned 42 in August, which was like last month, the 5th of last month. I still live with my mom. I live with my mother. I didn't always live with my mother. I moved away, moved back. But my mother is also 84 years old. She's not as sharp as she used to be. She needs a lot of help with a lot of things. The house that we live in is paid off for. It's been paid off for almost like 20 something years, 25, almost 30 years now. You know what I'm saying? But there are people that I've known for years on end, and they have a lot to say about what they see. You know, well, you live with your parents or you live with your mom, this and that, whatever. I ended up inheriting the house that I live in. I shouldn't be guilty of that because my parents had a certain thing set up for me where their parents didn't. My parents had me when they were over 40 years old. So a lot of the people that are saying these things, just in context, their parents, my mother and father could be their parents. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a timeline. There's like a timeline in difference, and like these people aren't really thinking along the lines of a consistent way of seeing things. And I'm really trying to just be nice about how I say this, because you know, usually I could go off and just be raw and real and call out how ignorant people are, just call them idiots or whatever. But I'm not gonna do that in this video. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that in this video. I'm gonna be real chill with this on this video, right? And they'll go out and make campaigns and link up with other people and have these big conversations about what I got going on in my life. Now, me personally, I don't really care what they got going on in their life. Like, when I see them for who they are. I deal with them in real time. I'm not going around trying to ask no questions about what they got going on in their life or whatever. If I want to know something about you, I'm gonna come to you, I'm gonna talk to you about it. But you see, we got people here would talk, and this is maybe just like a universal thing. People would talk about you before they talk to you, so they don't really know what's going on, right? And that goes into this whole thing where we're talking about, you know, chosen ones and all this other stuff. It's not even so much that about people being chosen, by God. It's just people that have common sense and being practical about how they operate and how they move, and just genuinely connecting with life and universe, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is, if we're gonna operate like this and follow a trend of thought that was actually designed for us to think this way, not only about ourselves but about the people around us that may even look like us, just based on material possessions and not based on the practicality of who they are spiritually or mentally, it causes a disruption in unity between the black community. Now, I talk a lot about Africa here on this channel. I talk a lot about, going back to Africa or going to Africa. People find that as a cliche subject, but as of recently, people are starting to realize the opportunities that are over there. A lot of people are now starting to realize, due to YouTube and a lot of people vlogging, they're starting to see the truth of about what was going on. A lot of people hear about Africa, they still think about mud huts and this and that and whatnot, and not really understanding the opportunities that are there. Alright, I don't know why this always happens to me when I make these type of videos. Like, it's not even like my battery died or something with my SD card. But anyways, where was I? About Africa, right? So people have this mindset about things, right? And even in Africa, like Christianity in Africa has disconnected a lot of these Africans in such a way that they can't really see the power that they have as African people. They really can't see, because they've been so disconnected from their roots and disconnected from their actual universal powers, that they follow a dumbed down version of who they are. Now, because it's like that, and because a lot of these folks aren't really connected to who they were as, or connected to their ancestors in such a way that they're just following the same trends that the colonizers are giving them, like just basically putting them on a path to death. Not death, but depth. And I mean depth in debt, D-E-B-T. Just doing the same thing that's going on here in America. People here in America don't really own anything. Everything's based off credit. Everything is borrowed, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any real sense here. Like, that's not real life here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all like just a number here. We're all just modern day slaves that enjoy being slaves here in America, you know? And these all this stuff ties into why the black community isn't really prevailing in a way that can measure up with other cultures of people around the world. Now I'm trying to just get into like into the details and the crux of what's really going on here from my observation, from what I can see. You know, hold on 1 second. Okay, so until Black America can get back to understanding and being able to have a real level of discernment to know the truth when they see it, we are going to be going further and further down a rabbit hole of destruction. Everything is about money. Everything is about how much money you have, what kind of possessions that you have, and putting it up in contrast to other people. There are people that are walking around that have land and businesses and all these material things, all this systematic things, And no one knows that they have these things going on because they don't carry themselves that way. They don't talk about it. No, none of that. And the people that are fighting to have it will come up against these folks, build campaigns, try to destroy their reputation, blah blah blah. But if they were to all lay it all out on the table and put a measuring stick up against each other, one is of a level that another one cannot compare to. And just not being able to make that proper assessment and make that proper discernment within our community is a major problem. Because now you have those people that can possibly help you in a way and change your entire life and possibly change the entire structure of what your lineage can be, are the people that they try to destroy and tear down. Like, when are we going to really wake up to the truth? But no one wants to hear the truth. Nobody don't like to hear the truth here. Everybody wants to just keep running with the lies, or continue to be comfortable in what they've spent so much time investing in. And I get it, I understand. Like, you've bought into a certain idea and a certain ideal, and you have invested a lot of time and energy in it, and then someone comes around and just destroys that entire idea. And you just feel like, deep down, you may feel like, man, I don't know if I want to give up what I've invested so much time and energy in. We have people here that, and I can speak from experience, we have people here that really don't love themselves enough to recognize when someone is coming to them with love, or coming to them with a sense of authenticity. Like, it's confusing to them. It confuses them in a way that it makes them uncomfortable. You know, I'm not gonna call them fake or full of shit, but a lot of them might be fake or full of shit, you know. Just being able to just really connect is the problem here. Connect in a way that's real and authentic. People don't know how to be authentic anymore. Like, even if you are to tell the truth to a group of people, or tell the truth to someone, it's like you cannot do it, you know, one-on-one, in person, like the real connection. You literally have to create a platform. You literally have to create some type of a format. You got to jump on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or something like that, and go through all these mechanical things in order for you to get your message off. You know what I'm saying? Like no one knows how to, like, no one here really knows how to take a piece of information from somebody in real time and in real life and decipher that in a way that makes sense to them in their life. Like, you have to be on some social media. You got to create like this whole social media type of presence, and, you know, spruce it up and make it look a certain way in order for them to be able to be receptive to the information. Now, if you cannot see how unintelligible that is, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. We gotta wake up, man. We gotta wake up, man. We really have to wake up, man. And I'm really just being calm about this, man. But the way things are going right now, you got politicians here in America sending billions and billions of dollars off to other countries, while we got all this stuff that's going on here. We having a food drought here in America. You go into the stores, you could barely find any food, and then they're also doing it in particular type of neighborhoods. You go into like a high-end white area, they're not having those issues. You go into their stores, their foods their food shelves are filled with foods, and then they're getting the best of the crops on top of that. And then all the like bottom feeder stuff is what they send to like the black communities and all that. And then on top of that, in these black communities, you're hardly finding any fresh food, any real organic fresh food. And I think a lot of that plays a part in how people think, how people feel, how they operate. Cause when you're not feeling good, like a lot of the issues that we having is the food that we eat, is the gastric, you know what I'm saying? So if we're not eating the proper type of foods that's giving us the proper type of nutrients, etc., we're not feeling good. And sometimes we correlate the way that we feel within our stomach and within our gastric with mental health issues. But that's a whole nother video. Leave in the comment section what you guys think about this subject. Leave in the comment section what you feel is the issue that we have here in America, within Black America. And because Black America is like at the forefront of a lot of other Black folks in the world, and a lot of other Black folks look up to us here in America, how the way that we're moving, the mentality that we have, the outlook and orientation that we have on things, how we deal with each other, how that stuff starts to trickle down to other folks around the world. And what kind of world do you think that we will be living in if we continue to think this way, and if we continue to operate in the way that we've been operating? Now, I'm not gonna make this video like no super long video. I don't know, this might be a good 20-30 minutes right now. But we definitely gotta like slow down for a second. You know, make sense of real information. Connect in a way that we have a real sense of discernment and know how to read situations for what it is. 'Cause a lot of us are missing real opportunities with people that are being real with them based purely on the things that we see. And a lack of proper communication. Like, we don't know how to communicate with people, man. People just, like I said before, people love to make assumptions, and make assumptions in ways that doesn't have any real context to it. And then we deal with these people like that. Some people will know that you think that way, will know you feel that way, and will not ever express an honest truth about what they got going on in their life, because they prefer to leave people that think like that out of their business. I am one of them people for sure. The moment I realize that you doubt me, or you looking at me in a way that doesn't agree with what's actually going on in my life, where you could have easily came to me and talked to me so I could show and prove, you are the type of person that I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure that you never know what's really going on in my life. And even if we're sitting around talking, we're having conversations, unless you come to me and ask genuine questions and try to find out from a genuine place of curiosity, we'll sit down and have conversations for 4, 5, 6 hours, and I will never tell you. I'll never bring it up. And that's just me. And I'm coming to find out I've ran into a few other people that go through the same type of stuff, and there's a lot of people that's like that too. And that before I end this video, that's where the whole black and white thing is coming in, because now it is easier for people to pick a side, and a lot of people are going to be getting left in the wayside in the coming months, in the coming year, because the people that are being authentic and being genuine are starting to click up and stay away from those who are not being authentic and genuine. So with that being said, again, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so whenever I do drop new videos, you guys get the notifications. And yeah, see you guys next time. Peace.
Hey, hold up, Cam.